If you were not invited to a function or a party, don't invite yourself. Like, that's what I mean by value your own presence, value your own time, value your own integrity and your own morals and your own dignity. Try to use people's names and use their names in conversations more. Just say their name, like, oh, I read that book and it really made me think of you, Irene. I just said a random name. It really made me think of you, Irene. Or like, Mary, those are really nice pants. Use their names as often. Or like, oh my gosh, I can't stand you, George. That's different from saying I can't stand you. Like, I can't stand you, George. Like, use people's names. People like hearing their names, believe it or not. But to my husband, as you're listening to this, do not use my name. You're not allowed. You're the only one that's allowed. My name is baby to you, okay? There's no need to try to pretend because you want to be with the cool kids and now you're acting like you drink when you don't drink, or you're acting like you smoke when you don't smoke. Auntie, uncle, just say, that's not me, babes. I don't do that. That's not me. If they don't want to hang out with you again because you were honest about yourself, then go to where you can actually be your authentic self, okay? That's key in life. You want to be respected and valued by the people around you. Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Yellow Podcast. It's your girl, EK, and I'm so excited about today's episode because, guys, this is episode 9. This is episode 9. We're one more episode away from being done with season 3 of the Yellow Podcast, which is also our first season on YouTube. I'm just so happy. I'm really happy with just how far, the Yellow Podcast has come from our little Blue Yeti mic days on GarageBand, and now we're having actual video episodes. So yeah, welcome to episode 9 of the Yellow Podcast. Today's episode is one that I am super excited about because I'm talking about stuff that I love talking about. Which is personal development. Wait till you hear what the episode is about though, because, but yeah, today's episode is personal development. We're talking about how to gain respect and instantly attract people. Yeah. If you didn't know, that is a personal development thing, y'all. And I feel like, when it comes to, we're human beings, we all want respect. We all want to be held in high regard and esteem by other people. We don't want to be looked down upon. We want to be respected. We want to be trustworthy. We want to be perceived as people of confidence, people of integrity. And so we're really going to be getting into it today, how to gain respect and instantly attract people. And when I say attract people, I'm not just talking about physical appearance, guys. That's one thing, but attraction is eternal. Attraction, there are people that exude attraction. It's not just about being pretty and just looking good. No, attraction is just about exuding that, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it energy because I feel like we use that word a lot now and it just be giving some new age vibes. But yeah, how to gain respect and instantly attract people. Let's get into it. So, number 1, maintain eye contact. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were expecting me to say that, because I feel like when we're talking about how to gain respect, how to be attractive or how to get people instantly attracted to you, we're naming all these goals and all these things that no, guys, I'm telling you, this episode, I'm giving you the most basic stuff that, based on research as well and personal experience, has been proven to work when it comes to gaining respect and instant attraction. It's been proven to work. And the number 1 thing on this list is eye contact, guys. Maintain eye contact. I know that eye contact is like something that can be very uncomfortable for a lot of people. You know, we've all probably been in situations like that where you're talking to someone and you're trying to maintain eye contact, but you keep like looking away because it's just awkward. Like it feels like you're glaring down into a person's soul and they're glaring down into your soul. But guys, there is power in eye contact. Like there's so much psychology behind the whole entire concept of eye contact and how it shows and represents a lot more than we're actually thinking it does. Eye contact, it shows confidence and interest in the person that you're talking to. So when you're able to actually maintain eye contact on a person, you're actually perceived as a confident person. Because usually when you're intimidated, that's when you take your eyes away, or when you're insecure, you take your eyes away. But when you train yourself to maintain eye contact, you are passing along a message to that other person that you are a confident person and you are genuinely interested in the person that you're speaking to. Also, humans subconsciously associate steady eye contact with honesty. Averting your gaze, especially during crucial moments, can create suspicion or suggest you're hiding something. So that is yet another thing that eye contact communicates. Eye contact communicates honesty, guys. Yeah, like for some reason, according to psychology, like when you're able to maintain eye contact with a person, there's a higher tendency for them to perceive you as an honest person. But someone who tends to look away a lot or can't maintain eye contact is usually perceived as someone who is hiding something possibly, or just someone who is suspicious. In fact, I don't know if there's this book that I read a long time ago that I found in my dad's room, and it's called How to Spot a Liar. I don't even remember who wrote that book, but apparently, people who are lying tend to look away from the other person and tend to look up to their right. I don't know what's the connection with that, but what I'm basically saying is that eye contact is important. Okay, it is seen as a sign of honesty and sincerity. Eye contact also requires vulnerability. Excuse me. So it shows that you're willing to be seen just as much as you're willing to see. It suggests authenticity, which is inherently attractive and trustworthy. So eye contact, it makes people perceive you as a trustworthy person. It also, it requires vulnerability to maintain eye contact with a person because, I mean, they can really see you and you're being seen in whatever kind of conversation or setting that you're in, and there's strength in vulnerability. So when you're able to maintain eye contact, it shows that you are not afraid to be seen, you're not afraid to be vulnerable, and that you are a confident, genuine, sincere, and trustworthy person. And believe it or not, people will gravitate towards you and you will gain respect just from this act of maintaining eye contact. Oftentimes when we're unable to maintain eye contact, it could be due to a variety of reasons. So it's not just that you're hiding something. It could be because you're intimidated by the other person, you feel vulnerable, you feel nervous or shy, all of these different things. And so work on your eye contact. It's something that you can actually work on. Try maintaining eye contact with strangers, like maybe when you're in an interview or the next time that you're checking out at the grocery store and you're having a conversation, like try to maintain eye contact, because for some reason it's easier to do this with strangers that don't know us very well than it is to do with people that are in our lives, or I don't know, or not necessarily people that are in our lives, but people that we're trying to get to know, or people that I don't know, maybe we're intimidated by, or like we're just nervous, or we're shy, or whatever the case is. And so try working on your eye contact with strangers. You can also try working on your eye contact with close friends and loved ones. Like there's this game, Skin Deep, the Ant Games collection. Like if you read how to play the game, they always say, look into the other person's eyes for like a few seconds. I don't remember how long. But you can try this, like ask a close friend, like, Can we just look into each other's eyes for like a few seconds? You guys might laugh, it might be awkward, but trust me, there is power in maintaining eye contact. So that is number one. Practice maintaining eye contact, y'all. The second thing on how to gain respect and instantly attract people. This point, I got this from my dad years ago. Like I was probably still in secondary school. And I remember, because I have a very vivid, like visual memory. So I remember being upstairs in the house and he was coming out of his room, was just at his door. And my dad told me this. He said, if you want to be respected by people, be a woman of your word. And so that is my second point, y'all. Be a man/woman of your word. Be a person of your word. If you want to be respected, let your word carry weight. Okay? Yeah. Let your word carry weight. When you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're not going to do something, don't do it. And just be a person of your word. This signifies integrity, and integrity is important, guys. Integrity is one of those qualities that is talked about in the Bible that we don't be paying attention to, y'all. Integrity is important, and one of the ways that you reflect and exude integrity, or you are a person of integrity, is by being a person of your word. This also shows that you are a secure person and that you place value on your words and your decisions. You're not flimsy or careless with your words. When you say things, you mean it. Okay, this is very, very important. Do what you say you will do. And if you're sure that you're going to do something, if you're not sure that you're going to do something, don't say or promise that you will do it. Think hard before you commit to something. And this also applies to our values, our boundaries, and our moral principles, okay? When you set boundaries, or depending on your values or your moral principles, make sure you actually adhere to the boundaries that you set for yourself. So I'll give like an example, right? Let's say you have this person in your life who is constantly mistreating you, always disrespecting you, like really terribly. And every single time they do it, you just start throwing these words like, I'll never let you treat me like this again. But best believe the next time you treat me like this again, I'm out this door. Believe that. Don't ever treat me like this again. All that stuff. Well, guess what, y'all? The next time it happens, okay, let's just say it happens again and the person comes back and disrespects you. The next time it happens, if you are still standing there and still repeating the same thing, saying, I don't deserve this, the next time you do this to me, I'm gonna look, let me tell you something. What you are subconsciously communicating to that person is that I'm not a serious person. I don't mean what I say. I say things, but I don't actually have the strength and the security to follow through with what I say. That's what you're actually telling the person. And without realizing it, you're teaching the person to disrespect you. So this is key here. You have to be a person of your word. If you know that you're just distraught and you're not sure how to handle the mistreatment from this person, don't jump into giving the person empty threats. No, like go and process your emotions. Work on yourself. Figure out what is it about me that is causing me to keep tolerating this treatment from this person. Why can't I walk away from this person? But what you don't want to do is keep throwing words that you know you don't mean or you're not going to follow through. This makes you come off as someone who does not value their own words. It makes you come off as someone who is not secure in themselves or secure in their values and their boundaries and their identity. So when you say something, make sure you actually, do it. So if you're on the phone with someone and they start disrespecting you and you say, hey, I really want us to be able to have this conversation without disrespecting each other. So if you disrespect me again, if you raise your voice at me again, I will have to hang up on the call and talk to you some other time. If that person then proceeds to disrespect you again, Biko, hang up the call like you said you would. Because when you do that, what you're actually communicating to that other person is that I wasn't silly when I said what I said. I didn't say what I said out of just anger or fleeting feelings. No, that was based off of a decision that I thought about based off of my boundaries and my values. And so I value myself way too much to subject myself to this disrespect. I love you, but I will not subject myself to this disrespect. So be a person of your word. And this applies not just in the examples I'm giving, but so many examples. I mean, guys, like, have you ever watched like movies where there's a character that's just like, I don't even know. There's a character that just everybody just admires and respects this character. Like they have charisma, and everyone just looks up to this person. Have you noticed in movies like that, in movies with characters like that, there are those scenes where the character, like maybe someone says something that was left field or they shouldn't have said, and the character didn't just start, there was just silence, and then the character just walked up to that person and said, like, don't ever say that again. The next time you say that, I will have to do this, or I will have. Guys, even with what I just said, do you see the weight of that? Do you see the weight of that? When someone is able to approach a situation like that, where they say stuff, not just flimsily, but they say stuff that they know they plan to follow through, you have no other choice but to respect that person. Yeah. So, yeah, be a person of your word. Being a person of your word also means being reliable. Follow through with your commitments, meet deadlines, keep promises. This establishes trust, okay? When you're a person of your word, it communicates to the other person that you are a trustworthy person. They can actually trust that you said you're going to do something, and so you're going to do it. Or you said you're not going to do something, and so you're not going to do it. There's trust established in that relationship. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying there won't be times that you won't make mistakes and everything. We're all human. Like sometimes you might say, like, okay, I won't do that thing again. You might do it again. Yes, I understand that. But what I'm saying is make the intentional effort to try to just stop promising things that you don't plan to deliver, or stop committing to things that you don't actually plan to genuinely and intentionally follow through. You know, like actually think about your work. Even think about, like, in the scriptures, one of the reasons why God is because of the weight that his word carries. The Bible literally says it, that his word will not return to him void. In fact, to show you how much God values his word, he says, put me in remembrance of my word. That means God's word carries so much weight that you can actually remind him of his word, and to the point where he says that he is his word. He actually says he is his word. So guys, think about that, y'all. Doesn't that show that word carries weight? The God of the universe doesn't play with words. Why then are you playing with your own words? God created you with a mouth. The Bible says the power of life and death lies in the tongue. The Bible talks about the power of your words. And so being a person of your word, it shows that you're a person of integrity, you're a person of discipline, you're a person who can be trusted, you're a reliable person, and you're a person who is just confident. And this in turn makes people want to respect you, and it also makes people instantly attracted to you. Another thing I'll say before I move on to the next point is, one person that I think of when I think of someone who is a person of their word is, or was, my father. Yes, may his soul rest in peace. My father, that man was a man of his word. And he was also someone who didn't talk or yap a lot. Like, he was very, I don't know what, of course, like, of course, those of us that were closer to him probably saw different sides of him where he was chatty. But I mean, like, generally, when it came to his emotions, my father was very careful with how he threw around his words. And I recall one particular time where even I was like, oh wow. So we had this house help, that's what they're called in Nigeria, but like, I guess a maid or like a nanny. But we had this house help growing up that was just, the woman was just chaotic. She was chaotic. Like, so everybody was tired of her. Everybody was tired. Every single time. So everybody was just tired. My mother was tired. Everybody was just tired. And she would keep provoking, and everybody's just like, you will leave this house, you will leave this house. The next time you do this, you will leave this house. But somehow, that woman survived years in the house. And my dad never, at least not to my own like seeing, never lashed out at her to be like, not to say he never got angry at her, but like he never lashed out at her to be like, oh, you're leaving this house the next time you did it. He just, calm, cool guy. And so the one time where she did something that was like, I don't even remember what, I think she disrespected my mom or something like that. My dad, in the calmest, like this man did not even raise his voice, in the calmest voice and tone, my father said, yeah, just pack your things, you are leaving my house today. If you need anything, I will send it to you. I will transfer it to you, but you cannot be in this house. Like, when I tell you, everyone in the house was like quiet because they knew that, oh, this man doesn't just say stuff he doesn't mean. She really finna be gone. It's the house help said was she started begging. The same house help she started begging. She sent to everybody to go and beg him. And so I'm just sharing this story to say that there is power in your words and in the self-control that you have. It makes people respect you because they know that you're someone who follows through with what you say. All right. Next point. Number 3, on how to gain respect and instantly attract people. Number 3 is a given. I feel like this could have easily been number 1. I would like to believe we all know this. Respect yourself. Self-respect is key in life. Respecting yourself allows people to respect you. And in fact, it is almost ludicrous to expect respect from people when you don't even see yourself as someone who is worthy of respect and who should be respected by your own self. And so self-respect is very important. Respect yourself and have boundaries for yourself. Boundaries are a sign of self-respect, y'all. Like, when you're able to set boundaries, when you know yourself enough to know, okay, I'm not going to tolerate that. I don't like that. I don't like when people do this. Then establish those boundaries, communicate those boundaries, because this communicates self-respect. Have respect for yourself. Have respect for your time. Yo, have respect for your time. Stop letting people waste your time. I don't know who needs to hear this. Have respect for your time, okay? Have respect for your values. Have respect for your boundaries. How can you expect people to give you respect if you can't even respect yourself? A perfect example of how to exercise the self-respect is declining requests politely when they infringe on your time and energy. Have some respect on your time. If you set aside time for rest or self-care or time to get your work done or relaxation, why do you keep disrespecting this time over just random last-minute invitations and calls and different things like that? This is one in particular that I really had to work on. Like, I really had to work on this one. Like, I really had to work on this one. Let me share a story. So, a long time ago, I had this friend who they did not have respect for my time. This friend was an extremely flaky, like, he was extremely flaky. Like, we would make plans, we would make plans ahead. I've put it in my calendar, everything like that. Mind you, I have a life. I have other relationships that I'm pouring into. I have work. I have all these different things. We would make plans. I'll set time aside. And this person will bring check every single time that was so flaky. And it was almost like it would literally be over stuff that like maybe they would literally like rain check because maybe they were invited to this party and they really want to go, or maybe something was just always coming up. Basically, my time was not priority. And it started to really get to me because, by the way, like one of my biggest pet peeves is flakiness. I really dislike flaky, like, please keep that away from me. Like, don't make plans with me if you're just gonna rain check last minute, because I've literally put you in my calendar. I am anticipating for that time we're going to spend together. I have probably also turned down other opportunities to spend time with other people just for that one time. So I really hate when people are flaky with me, okay? So every single time this person would do this, it started to really get to me because I'm like, I don't understand. Am I a log of wood? Like, why is it that this person doesn't respect my time? And you know what I realized? I realized that they were not respecting my time because I wasn't respecting my time. Because every time that they would cancel on me last minute, every time that they would flake on me, every time that they would brain check and I would move on doing something else, they would literally like reach out to me out of the blue for a last minute thing, and I would drop what I was doing and go and do that last minute thing because I was just trying to spend any time I could get with this friend. Like, literally, it dawned on me, how you're expecting someone else to respect your time. Girl, you don't even have respect for your own time. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to start respecting my time. And so the next time that it happened, where they flaked on me and everything, and I mean, it was annoying, but I was like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. And then they reached out another day and were like, hey, come out, let's go do this thing. And I was like, yeah, I told you that I was free on Tuesday. Today is not Tuesday. I'm not free today. I actually have plans today, so we would have to reschedule. And so even when they wanted to reschedule, and they would be like even when I did that, I could tell that the person was confused and shocked because I'd never done that with them before. So they were like, why are you making a big deal? And I'm like, I'm not making a big deal. I'm just telling you that like I have other things that I'm doing. So find another time that works for me, and then we can make that work. And even then, like when they reach out to me after another time, if I tell them, if that time doesn't work, I'll say, hey, this time doesn't work. These are my free times. You can choose between these times. What that communicates to the person is I have way too much respect for my own time. Time is limited, guys. Like, we have limited time on this earth, okay? Like, if I value a relationship, I pour my time. I invest my time into that relationship. And I respect my time, so I don't treat my time anyhow. And I will not allow another person to treat my time anyhow. So that's just an example of what that self-respect looks like. Okay, another example I want to give on this, and like, some people might not agree, but that's fine. You can choose to take it or leave it. That's okay. But I feel like when it comes to self-respect, another thing I would say is don't be so easily just always available and always accessible to people. Like, always. Like, you're just like always easily available and accessible. Unless, of course, depending on certain relationships, obviously, that's different. Like, but yeah, don't always be so easily, like, one top example I can think of is if you were not invited to a function or a party, don't invite yourself. Like, that's what I mean by value your own presence, value your own time, value your own integrity and your own morals and your own dignity. Because when you have value and respect for those things, people in turn will have respect for you. Okay, so if you are not invited to something, don't be so desperate as to go and invite yourself and show up. That's just awkward. And honestly, it's also giving an opportunity for you to be disrespected. So place value and only go to places where you are invited and where you are welcome. Basically, don't impose yourself or be desperate to cancel your plans and run to something because you just really want to be there. Like, no, unless you were, invited. If you were not, then don't do that. Number 4, offer genuine and specific compliments. This one is so key, you guys. Offering genuine and specific compliments is one way you can gain respect and be instantly attract people to you, but it's also another way that you are memorable to people that you encounter. Yeah. So don't just give meaningless compliments just because you want to be liked or you want to flatter someone. I feel like sometimes people don't know what to say. They just want to they want to say something, or they want to flatter someone, or they just want people to like them. So they just say anything like, oh, you're just so great. Like, oh, you're just so great. Stuff like that. But make the intentional effort to give people genuine and specific compliments. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I ate a big dinner. Okay. So, find something about the person that you actually admire and compliment them on that. Guys, let your compliment carry weight as well, because your compliments are also your words, okay? So, for example, instead of just saying you're great, you could say, I admire how you handle challenging situations with such grace. That is a compliment that stands out, because it's not just a general, loose compliment. It's something specific that you've actually observed and taken note about the person, and you're pretty much expressing it to that person. Another good example is, instead of just always saying, oh, you look great, try to think okay, what is it about them that looks great that I like? Maybe it's that, you have a different hair on today. I really like it. Your hair looks different today. It looks really good on you. Or, oh my gosh, girl, that color looks really good on you. These are specific compliments. Or, oh, I noticed that you're wearing earrings today. You don't normally wear earrings. I really like those earrings on you. Those are specific compliments. So, take the time to actually observe and think on a compliment that you want to give someone before just saying anything. Don't just be like, oh, you're just not, even think of your own self personally. I'm sure there are certain compliments that stick out to you, maybe even throughout your day. Maybe someone gave you one compliment that was very specific, because maybe it was an area that you actually put effort into that day. You literally have another just pep in your step when you're walking and just smiling, because that compliment brightens your day and it sticks out to you. That's the power of genuine and specific compliments. So think specifically, what is it that, before you even say anything, what is it I'm observing about this person that I genuinely admire and I want to compliment them on? And then compliment them in that area. It makes you stand out to people. It makes you also come off as genuine, because they're able to tell that you actually identified something specific that you admire, and you didn't just say something just to have a conversation with that person. And it also makes people value your compliments, because they know that you gave it with intentionality. So that's a big one, guys. And I would even go further to say, for my men out there, that one is for you. Yeah, that one is for you. Yeah, and even for my women too, that one is for you too. But for my men, that girl that you like, don't just be like, wow, you're so nice. Wow, you're so big. No, go specific. Notice something about her. Oh wow, those earrings look really good on you. Or, oh, you smell really good today. You smell very you smell different. You smell floral. I really like this fragrance on you. Or yeah, I really like your laugh. The way you just eat. Be specific. Find what it is about that person that you like, that you want to compliment them on. And even for women too. Okay, let me just throw this out there. For some reason, men like it when you say, I like your work ethic. Oh, you're so hardworking. I admire how much you are dedicated to your work. I admire how you're passionate about your hobbies. Find specific things to compliment people on. Those are the things that make you stand out, and it makes you instantly attractive to that person. Number 5, stand up for yourself. This is a big one. Stand up for yourself. And do not let people walk or talk over you, guys. I really want to talk about this whole like talking over you part. So when I wrote this point, I specifically had like being interrupted in mind, right? So when I say stand up for yourself when someone is talking over you or when you're being interrupted. This is actually a way that you can gain respect from that other person. And I'll even just like share a tip that works that I learned just even during personal development coaching that works. So if you are in an important conversation where you're sharing your own perspective or view on something and another person interrupts you or just rudely just starts talking over you, just keep on talking. That's it. Like, there's no magic here. Just keep on talking and finish what you have to say. Don't raise your voice. Don't do anything like, because you know when someone starts talking over you, there's this tendency to want to increase your voice, right? To raise your voice a little bit so that now you're louder than the other person, or you're like, as I was saying, don't do that. Literally just keep saying what you were saying in the same tone and the same pitch, almost as if that person isn't even talking. Keep saying what even if they're still talking, just finish the point that you were trying to make. What this does is that it literally it creates an awkward environment for the other person to the point where they actually realize that what they did was rude and they actually stop talking. Like some people would even catch themselves and be like, oh, sorry, yeah, finish what you were saying and just keep talking. And don't even be rude or literally just smile at them. Like if they stop and say, oh, sorry, yeah, just smile at them and finish what you were saying. Get to the point, full stop, then you can stop talking and then let the other person talk. But what you do not want to do when someone rudely starts talking over you is for you to just keep quiet and just don't do that. Don't do that. Because what that does is it gives the person this mentality that they can continue doing that. Do you understand? It basically trains the person's mind to think that your words don't matter and your sentences stop when theirs begin. But no, guys, your sentences stop when you're done talking. So keep on talking, finish what you have to say, respectfully and politely, in the same tone, same pitch, and then let the other person start talking. Another thing that you can do with this is you can politely address interruptions or disrespect. You can say something like, I appreciate your input. Let me finish this thought and then I'd love to hear yours. So those are two examples. The first one I gave is the radical one, but I'm telling y'all, it works. That's the one that will give you instant response. Like the person will literally be like, because the thing is, a lot of people are used to, people that are constantly interrupting, they are used to doing it. Believe it or not, they might not even, sometimes it's not even out of disrespect, they're just used to doing it. They're not conscious of the fact that like that's rude and someone else is talking. But there's something that happens, that happens to them when you just keep on talking, almost as if nothing else is going on. So that's a powerful one. Or if you want the more, formal, more polite way, if you feel like it's more polite, you can easily just tell the person, yeah, let's finish this and then I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let me just get to the end of what I was saying. Another thing I'll say on this point is also stand up for people. This is something that I don't think a lot of people recognize that what I'm about to say is very, very important. So I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where maybe you're at a party or you're at some event, you're talking to someone, and then someone else just out of excitement comes and literally interrupts the conversation you're having with that other person. Maybe that other person is talking to you, and then someone else comes and interrupts her and just starts talking. And if you've ever been in a situation like that, try and remember, that person that you were talking to. Imagine if they now diverted their attention from you to the person who interrupted you guys' conversation. And they're just like, oh my God. And they just literally forget that you're there and carry on with another conversation. How does that make you feel? If you've ever been in a situation like that, how did that make you feel? And so in situations like that where you're having a conversation with someone and another person comes in and interrupts, do not divert your attention from the person you're talking to the other person who interrupted. Instead, politely tell that other person, oh yeah, just give me a few minutes. Let me wrap up the conversation I'm having with her. We were talking about something before you stepped in. So just give me a few minutes. Let me wrap up this conversation and then I'll get back to you on that. Simple. This literally like causes people to respect you and gains you instant attraction points with people, because it shows that you value people and it shows that you're confident enough to actually speak up and say you're in the middle of a conversation, and when you wrap it up with the person, you talk to that other person. Nobody wants to feel forgotten, like they don't matter, that they were talking to you and you start talking to someone else. It just doesn't make people see you in a good light or make people respect you. So that is something that's also very key when it comes to gaining respect and attraction. The next point is point number 6, and that is taking care of your appearance. I'm sure this is the one that is also like, take care of your appearance. That's an easy way to gain respect and also gain attraction. Heavy on the attraction part. Take care of your appearance. This is not about vanity. I feel like talking about looking good, taking care of yourself, smelling good, and all that stuff can easily be misinterpreted as, oh, you're vain or you just care about how you look. No, you should care about how you look. You just shouldn't care too much about how you look, but you should put in some effort. Don't go on the other end of the spectrum of I don't care at all. You should care about how you look, because believe it or not, your appearance plays a part in people's impressions of you. Like, believe it or not. You've probably seen certain people who dress in certain professional ways, in certain professional settings, and you almost kind of sit up and have a certain level of respect for the person. Even think about it, like if you were interviewing someone, right? Or if two people are going on an interview and one person is dressed neatly in their suits and their tie and everything, and then the other person, their shirt is wrinkly, you can tell that they didn't even iron it, you can tell they just jumped out of bed, their clothes, the colors aren't even matching, or they didn't even put in any effort. Come on now. I know we like to think that will not play a part in the decision making of that job, but it actually does. Your appearance matters. In fact, your appearance matters so much that when Naomi in the Bible was trying to, play matchmaker for Ruth and Boaz, she told Ruth to go and put some oil on herself and to go and look good. It is in your Bible, okay? Even Queen Esther, went to go and look good. Please, look good. Take care of your appearance. Don't be shy. There's no need to, I don't want to draw attention to myself. I don't care. I'm down to earth. I don't care about looking good. Be down to earth does not mean you should look like the earth's core or look like, the sand or the ground. Doesn't mean you should look like dirt. Put a little effort. Put a little, So that matters. You don't even have to go too much. Like if you're a lady, no one is saying, oh, you have to do your lashes and your weight. No, just look presentable in the way that you care about looking presentable. Get a nice fragrance, moisturize, oil up yourself a little bit. Dress nice, wear stuff that fits your body type. These are things that make you more attractive and also makes you gain respect. Because the thing with looking good, guys, is that it's not just about the other person respecting you or you gaining attraction, right? It's about the fact that when you look good, you are confident. And when you're confident, you exude confidence. Believe it or not, confidence is something that people can see. People can tell when a confident person walks in the room versus when someone that's not confident walks in the room. And so I look good because when I look good, like when I dress up and take care of myself in such a way that I'm like, yeah, I look good. I walk into any room and I'm not trying to hide because I'm scared of, I don't want people to see this part, I don't want people to see, I don't want people to, because I want you to see me. That's the point. I'm joking, but it literally causes you to be confident, you exude confidence. And there are also times where maybe you're not feeling good about your appearance, and so without even realizing it, you're carrying yourself as someone who is not feeling good about their appearance. People can tell. So look good for yourself so that you can be confident to look people in the eye and maintain that eye contact, so that you can be confident to stand up for yourself, so that you can be confident to give genuine compliments. Like in all the different points that I've made, looking good, it helps you achieve all the other points, okay? So take absolute care. Take good care of yourself. Point number 7, we have 8 points, so we're rounding down. Point number 7, show empathy and be a good listener. This is very important because people are drawn to those who make them feel heard and understood. Listen to people. Ask good follow-up questions, y'all. Like, ask people good follow-up questions. I've been in conversations with people that, like, they asked me such good follow-up questions that I was like, wow, that's such a great question, you know? And like, it was just, it made it a good conversation. So be a good conversationalist. This is something that makes you attractive. You know, it makes you memorable. People want to remember the good conversation that they had with you, because the next time you're at that function or that event, that person is going to be drawn to want to have another conversation with you. People are going to be drawn to hear what you have to say. So be a good listener, be a good conversationalist. Another powerful tip that I would share, that it is very, according to psychologists, it literally, it makes people just attracted to you, and it makes people admire you and respect you. This is a powerful tip, so take note of this. Make an effort to remember people's names and use their names in conversations, guys. This is key. This will make them attracted to you, and it will make them respect you. So I know that we're always meeting so many new people and it's like, oh yeah, I'm not really good with names. That's okay. But try and be intentional about remembering people's names. You know, one way that can help you remember their name is repeating their name back to them when they tell you their name. So make the effort to remember their name, and then use their name in conversations. I don't know if this has ever happened to you or if you have tried this, but trust me, it makes a difference in how people perceive you. There's a difference between if you say like, oh, hey, what do you think about that sauce? Versus if you say, what do you think about that sauce, Jessica? Like, there's a difference. It's like you singled out Jessica in the room and you're asking Jessica. Jessica feels, oh my, like, wow, she said Jessica, she's asking me. There's power in using people's names. It makes you memorable to the people. It makes people feel seen and valued and just, you know, cared for, and in turn it makes people respect you. So try to use people's names and, you know, use their names in conversations more. Just say their name, like, oh, you know, I read that book and it really made me think of you, Irene. I just said a random name. It really made me think of you, Irene. Or like, Mary, those are really nice pants. Use their names as often. Or like, oh my gosh, I can't stand you, George. That's different from saying I can't stand you. Like, I can't stand you, George. Like, use people's names. People like hearing their names, believe it or not. But to my husband, as you're listening to this, do not use my name. You're not allowed. You're the only one that's allowed. My name is baby to you, okay? But yeah, generally, y'all, use people's names. Okay, the last point, final point, how to gain respect and be instantly attractive to people. Point number 8, be authentic. Guys, this point, this is so key, guys. Be yourself. Be authentic. Don't be fake. Don't pretend. Be yourself. Believe it or not, intelligent people can actually tell when you're being fake. They can tell. They can tell when you're not being yourself, okay? And they might not even intentionally or consciously not want to respect you, but just from that fact that you are not authentic, right? It diminishes the respect that they have for you. Do you get what I'm saying? So make sure that you're being yourself at all times. Authenticity is incredibly attractive. Incredibly, guys. If there's one thing on this list that is attractive, is authenticity. People can tell. Be yourself, like express yourself in the way that you are. Don't pretend to like something that you don't like. Don't pretend to not like something that you like just because you want to fit into a particular group, or because you want you feel the need to include to be included, to say something or to contribute to the conversation or things like that. People can tell. Intelligent people can tell. So make the effort to just be authentic. If you don't have knowledge on the conversation, yeah, I actually don't know much about sports. I can't really contribute to that conversation. Simple. No need to now start, oh yeah, like, I love sports, then tomorrow, oh yeah, I actually don't like sports, and then tomorrow, oh yeah, I like skirts, but you actually don't like skirts. Oh, no, like, don't be wishy-washy. That's the word I'll use. Don't be wishy-washy, okay? Because what you don't realize is that you're communicating to that person that they can't trust you. They can't trust you. They literally can't trust anything that comes out from your mouth. Like, they can't even trust that who you are showing them you are is who you really are. In fact, they don't even know you. So, authenticity is very key if you want to gain attraction and if you want to be respected. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Let people get to see the real you and let them decide if they like the real you or not. And you should be fine with their decision, okay? When you show up as who you are, it means what you're basically saying is that, like, I'm very comfortable with who I am. Like, I'm so comfortable that even though I really like you, if you don't like who I am, that's okay. I'm not going to change like who I am. And I'm not talking about flaws and all those different things. Of course, you're supposed to be working on yourself constantly. I'm talking about who you are at your core, your personality, your likes, your dislikes, your thoughts, your opinions, your beliefs, who you are, right? What makes you you, right? So, and even that includes flaws as well, right? But what I mean by that is you shouldn't have the mindset of like, yeah, well, those are my flaws. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. No. When it comes to flaws, like actual stuff that you need to work on, yes, there's grace, but also be aware of it and, work on it. But I'm talking of those things that are not necessarily toxic traits or flaws. They're just who you are. So yeah, be who you are and be very okay be very okay knowing that some people will really like who you are and some people won't like who you are. Be very okay with it. Authenticity, it breeds trust because people can bank on you to tell them the truth and to not just agree with them. Okay, when I think of even just like the people in my life, I have like authentic people in my life that I know if I need someone to tell me the truth right now, I can reach out to this person and I know because they are authentic and they're true to who they are, they're not going to fake it or pretend to try to please me or anything like that. There are people like that to reach out to, and there are also people that when they show you who you really are, you can't help but admire and respect them because it takes a lot of vulnerability and confidence to show up as who you are. Guys, there are a lot of fakes out there, especially as we're getting older. Let's just be real. Like, there's a lot of performance, lots of performance out there. And so I think it's very important to be authentic, be yourself. Like, I remember, like, this was like such a long time ago, but I remember there were these like, I was invited to this dinner, like with this like, this girl group and everything. And there were people that I genuinely looked up to, like, genuinely I would have loved to be a part of their little group, but I noticed that at the dinner, it just felt very like, felt very fake. Like, have you ever perceived fake energy before? You know it is fake energy. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just fake. It was very, like, the conversations were very shallow, very superficial, very materialistic. It was just all about how much you're earning and what you have and who you're dating and what you don't, all that stuff. And And like it was so hard for me in that kind of setting because like that is not me. Like that is not me, you know? And so I was able to just show up authentically as myself because I was okay knowing that this could lead to us actually just like maybe they'll never reach out to me again because I'm not joining them to do their little like their little chatting these superficial like shallow conversations that I don't want to have. Like I was very real about myself. I was very real about like just things generally. I wasn't trying to pretend like I was some, I don't know, popular jingle who some popular jingle who just has it all. No, like I was raw and real with like who I really was, you know. So yeah, people notice that. People notice that, and people respect you. Like even in that situation, even with these people that I'm talking about, I could tell that like there was genuine like respect for the fact that I showed up authentically as who I was. You know what I mean? So yeah, show up authentically as who you are because then again, those people will be the same ones now coming to you for advice because they know that they can come to you and not their other friends because you are actually yourself and you actually be honest with them. So yeah, that is it. Authenticity breeds trust. Be yourself. There's no need to fake it with anybody. Like, it is what it is, okay? You either like EK or you don't, okay? And that applies to you, whoever is watching. They either like you or they don't, okay? But don't show up as someone that you're not because that does not make people respect you. People respect you when you show up in your authentic self. So, stand on who you are. Stand on your values as well. No need to pretend because you're with the in crowd and you're with a group of cool kids. Guys, we're not in high school anymore. Like, even those in high school are listening to this, so I'm sorry. But like, you know, there's no need to try to pretend because you want to be with the cool kids and now you're acting like you drink when you don't drink or you're acting like you smoke when you don't smoke. Auntie, uncle, just say, that's not me, babes. I don't do that. That's not me. If they don't want to hang out with you again because you were honest about yourself, then go to where you can actually be your authentic self, okay? That's key in life. You want to be respected and valued by the people around you. So, yeah, that is the end of today's episode, guys. I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. I had a lot of fun recording this episode. Because I told you I was going to enjoy this episode because it's in my area of expertise, okay? Personal development. Make sure you follow The Yellow Podcast at The Yellow Podcast on Instagram. You can also follow my personal IG page at KEMXBI. It's all on the screen. And please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video. Please comment. Let me know if there are any more things that you want to add to this list, if you have any questions, or if you're actually like practicing or working on any of these points that I mentioned in today's episode. I would love to know what your personal development journey is, you know, what it's like and how it's going. So yeah, that's it for today's episode, y'all. I love you guys so much. I can't believe this is episode 9. One more episode to go and we're done with season 3 and I am taking a break. Okay. All right, y'all. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.